Hello, everyone. This is Marky again from PH Books and More. I hope you're all doing well and staying safe. Welcome back to my channel. It's nice to have you back again with me. And also, belated Happy Valentine's Day to all of you guys. It's less than 4 weeks away from the upcoming Philippine Book Festival. Ready na ba kayo? Kasi ako ready na. Yung wallet ko na lang yung kailangan kong i-prepare at i-ready. Personally, I'm excited about the new releases as well as the book signings and meet and greet sessions with authors and artists. Super excited for that. I just can't contain my excitement. Anyway, you can now pre-register for the Philippine Book Festival. Just check their Facebook page, and also make sure to take a screenshot of your submitted responses that will serve as your badge to the book festival. So, see you all there. By the way, I just want to apologize if I have spoiled any of the books I've made reviews because of the characters and parts that I talk about. Honestly, I'm really not so sure what constitutes as a huge and critical spoiler, so really sorry about that. Again, I'm not a professional book critic. I'm just doing these out of leisure, and I tend to maybe speak a lot. Kita nyo naman sa length ng videos, di ba? In my case, I try to avoid important events and characters. I may mention them and say how I felt about those things and those characters, but I really try my best not to go into too much details. So again, bear with me. I hope I'm not ruining the experience of other readers with my videos. But again, I apologize if ever I do. Well, yeah, I'm just really doing this out of my love of books. So sorry if I have spoiled any information. Anyway, let's start my book review and reaction of the young adult novel Mars, My Zombie. Now, this book was written by Sir Chuckberry Pascual, who also wrote Ang Nawawala and Ang Nawawalang Barangay and several other novels or collections. I have videos of those for Ang Nawawala and Ang Nawawalang Barangay, so please check them out. Mars May Zombie was released in 2022 under Adarna House Incorporated. It's a paperback novel with around 300 to 320 pages. For those who are not familiar with Adarna House, it's a publishing company which caters to mostly children and young readers. They have illustrations or illustration books with both English and Filipino translations. To know more about Adarna House, I will link their website down below sa description. Like I mentioned earlier, this novel is a young adult and queer novel, which is something that for me is not very common in Philippine literature. Maybe I haven't read a lot of young adult queer novels, but in my experience, this is the first time I'm reading one. So there. I haven't seen book reviews or video reviews of this book on YouTube. I think there are some reviews on TikTok or Instagram, so you may want to check those as well. Okay, moving on to the cover there. Look at this. This is just so colorful. You have there the blue and purple tones, and you also have green to represent the zombies. It's just so beautiful. According to the copyright page inside, the cover was designed by Alejandro Inigo P. Fadul. He did such an amazing job with this one. It's kid-like, very kid-friendly, I think, but at the same time, still has that maturity, right? From the title itself, alam nyo na that this is a zombie novel. On the front cover, you have a scene depicting a battle. You can see blood, there are body parts, there's a wreck of a city behind, and of course, you see our characters. And then at the back, let me show you. There. Oops. Okay. So you can see here some elements that I think represents the characters or represent the characters. When you read the book, you'll understand why we have a pair of sunglasses, a floppy hat, and then you have toilet paper here as well. Again, when you read the book, you'd understand why we have these. And of course, there's a blurb at the back as well. Well, I really like this one. It's a very whimsical cover. Okay, now let's talk about the settings. Um, I consider this novel a dystopian as well. It's set in 2028 after a zombie apocalypse. This one actually reminds me of The Walking Dead, but tamed and for kids. Which is not surprising. It's a zombie apocalypse. So first thing you'd think of is, The Walking Dead. Reading through the book, it seems like it's set somewhere near a subdivision. There's a main highway and several buildings. It's very Manila-like. Yes, very Manila-like. If you're from the Philippines, you'd know about Bel Air area in Makati. That was where I imagined the story taking place. There's a subdivision, the Bel Air subdivision there. It's near EDSA, which is a main highway, and there are buildings around it. It's Makati. So that's how I visualized the setting of the book. But that's just me. The world building is actually quite easy to follow. Basically, you have this dystopian world divided into different zones. Most of the story is set in the red zone, and Mars plans to go to the blue zone. And in between, you also have the black zones. I won't go into details as to what each of the zones are, but they were described in a very clear way throughout the story. It's not complicated once you understand the differences. There. Okay. Now, let's meet some of the memorable characters. Well, for me, memorable characters for me. You have, of course, our main character, Mars. He's a teenager, around 16 years old. Minsan, feeling ko medyo delulu or delusional si Mars. But in a cute way. It's not annoying. He is very smart and clever, especially in those intense and action-packed situations in the book. I feel that he's also a very emotional person. I think which is expected for his age of 16. I really sympathize with him. Kasi throughout the book, sinasarili niya yung emotions niya. So what happens is all of these emotions pile up and might burst in some situations or in dire situations. Um, Keeping it to yourself is probably wrong, but in a world that's full of devastation, full of sadness and pain, parang ayaw na lang din dumagdag ni Mars. There. Another character, Lola Vicky, is also very memorable. She's your sassy Lola or sassy grandmother. It's very typical of a grandmother, and she loves Mars very much. She's not very showy, but I think yeah, she loves Mars very very much. Now, my favorite character is Billy or B for Beyonce. He is a big fan of Beyonce and napakaraming Beyonce references sa story because of him. B is a comic relief. Sometimes nga lang, maybe too much. Though, personally, I like that because in many cases he breaks the tension. He's a he's a fun gay best friend. He's the that gay best friend that you want to hang out with. There. Um, some of the characters were introduced or given a background a bit late in the story. Kaya siguro hindi ako naging invested sa fate nila. But a lot of them were characters that you really need to make the story work, to make the story feel complete. There. Okay, now let's talk about some of the memorable parts. Honestly, chapter 1 pa lang, intense na siya. Honestly. It got me hooked immediately. It was only around 5 to 8 pages or maybe even less, but it was so intense that I got hooked immediately. In the book or in the story, there's still body shaming and homophobia. But like I said in my review of Ang Nawawala, it's needed eh. Especially to establish characters and behaviors. So hopefully readers have to see it that way. It's not in the book to mock or to discriminate. It's there to give more background to characters or give more details to characters. I mentioned this with Billy earlier, but the Beyonce and pop culture references were fun to read. Since this is set in a dystopian world, it made me imagine a life na wala yung pop culture, wala sila Beyonce, wala sila Nicki Minaj, and just how sad that kind of life would be. I love pop culture, so I know I'll be very sad if that happens. There was a chapter that was used for a flashback, chapter 36. Naluha ako dun. Grabe. I rarely cry when reading books, but that chapter was tragic and so painful. It really made me cry. It was so good, but it was so sad. The last few chapters were quite good too. They were action packed and you feel that desire that the characters have in the story. So the ending or the end part was actually good. Although for me, I think there's more to it. I'm probably hoping that there will be a sequel to this one because the ending was, I think it ended with a cliffhanger. Yes. Okay. Now, as for my takeaways, first, I have to commend Sir Chuck for making such a friendly and entertaining novel despite the setting of the apocalypse. I really appreciate his love for the queer community. And also, he used amazing visuals and descriptions throughout the book. So, I really love that he did that. Napakagandang journey nung nabasa ko to, pati yung Ang Nawawala series. Second, with Adarna House, having this book in their catalog is so progressive. Just imagine how many young readers will be educated in the queer community when they read this book. Growing up kasi, ang Adarna books, for me, ay mga libro ng Alamat, Kabutihang Asal, o kaya Abakada. Not like this one. As a gay man, I am happy and I appreciate what Sir Chuck and Adarna House did by bringing Mars May Zombie to readers. I noticed the similarities of the book setting then when it comes to the COVID-19 pandemic. It reminded me of how scared and how miserable we were at that time. Tsaka yung sarili mo lang yung aasahan mo because the government was not efficient enough. There were so many deaths, but a lot of high-ranking officials didn't really care. It's sad, and at the same time, it makes you very angry. Also, from this novel, nakakalungkot din talaga isipin yung issue ng huge gap between different social classes, especially here in the Philippines. The part with the different zones, I think that represents the different classes of people in the society, as well as how the government segregates the citizens and give priority to those who are already rich and ignore those that are at the bottom. It's sad that the government prioritizes the rich. In my notes, I have here, the government is never fair. I don't know what you think about that. Anyway, on a very positive note, I love that we have Lola Vicky in the story. I love Lolas, grandmothers. I grew up with my Lola or my nanay. My mom encouraged me to read school books, educational books, but my nanay exposed me to leisure reading. When I was in elementary, she would buy me funny comics every Friday. No miss yun. When I started working and I'd go home late, she'd be waiting for me to open the door. I would also buy her activity books like word search, or sometimes I even buy her pocket books because it's my way of giving back to what she did, for what she did rather. My parents love me, of course, but a grandmother's love is unlike that of parents. I, I, I love my nanay so much. Same with Mars. And yeah, I just miss her every day. Every single day. Ah, tama na nga. Ano ba yan? Baka maiyak pa ako. Nung sinusulat ko yung script ko, naiiyak ako eh. So, ayoko na. Well, thank you so much for watching my new video. I hope this made you interested in checking out Mars, My Zombie. As always, links related to the book will be in the description below. I'm taking a break from reading Chuckberry Pascual novels. I still have around, I think, three. Mostly short stories or compilations. Kailangan kong tipirin. My next read will be Luwalhati Bautista. I'm not sure which one, but it's going to be a Luwalhati Bautista book. Now, please, please, please do like, share, and subscribe. I would love to also read your comments, so please write them down below. Thank you again so much. This is Marky from PH Books and More. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!